Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Palmetto Boyz Podcast. Joining me today to talk about the Gamecocks, as always, is Gavin. How are you doing, Gavin?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday, but this would be the perfect day to do one of these podcasts. So I'm glad to be here again, and I'm happy to break it down with you.
Indeed, indeed. So, the Gamecocks finished their 2024 football spring game on Saturday. The Garnet shutting out the black team 17 to nothing. And obviously, it's a spring game, so you can't take away much from it, but there are things you can learn from the spring game. And we're going to give our thoughts on the spring game, things that we noticed, things that we saw, just our takeaways from the Gamecock spring game. Anyways, Gavin, would you like to begin with your thoughts? You were at the game, I believe, correct?
Yes, I was at the game, and it was pretty fun. The experience was awesome. I'm gonna first talk about the experience rather than the game because Williams-Brice. I mean, I said it last time. It's one of the best college football stadiums you can visit. It's an amazing atmosphere.
Hey, ho,
Although I
ho.
wasn't satisfied with the attendance this year, because usually it's like it's more packed, but they didn't really pack it out this time. It's really just
I don't
one section
know.
of the stadium is filled. But
32,000 people, I think, showed up for that game.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. No, that's pretty good. I mean, when 32,000 people show up, that's really nice.
yeah, but I
But
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
it's a spring
But,
game. I mean, it's okay
yeah.
because they want to keep those upper bowls clean because they didn't open those up. But other than that, it was a great atmosphere. They had a post game fireworks show. Players giving out autographs at the end of the game, just awesome. It's always great to be there. But the game itself, I mean, obviously we saw it coming. It's not what you want to really watch because, to be fair, it was kind of boring. But we saw two touchdowns from Garnet, and we also got a field goal and a bad missed field goal from Black. I think it was. I can't remember, but it was a really short kick on one of them. But other than that, look at the positives. I think our defense can definitely be good this season. Just like, I mean, I would always see, I don't know, there was something about the defense that really impressed me. They looked happy to be out there. The offense looks good too, but the defense, I would say the defense definitely won. But when it comes to a spring game, the defense always wins the battle because, I mean, Black got shut out. So credit to the defense on Garnet because shutting out a team in a spring game, I mean, that's still good. It's a spring game, but it's always good to shut out a team. So it was really
Fair
good
point. Fair
defense I
point.
saw. And the
So,
offense, I'd say nothing too good, but like, I mean, Lenore Sellers ran in for a touchdown. Again, it's a spring game. I said it last time. It's nothing
yeah,
to be. It's not gonna be what we're gonna see in the fall. It's
yeah.
just a spring game,
And
but there was
um
still lots of positives to see.
absolutely. And something I wanted to say was give credit to Robbie Ashford. The dude has a lot of heart, but I think you clearly saw why Lenora Sellers is quarterback one. And it, it was pretty obvious. Lenora Sellers, I think he played pretty well. What do you think about Lenora Sellers?
Yeah, he played well as I expected. He was tossing good passes. I don't think I can't remember, but I don't remember him tossing an incomplete pass. He may have, but if there was a quarterback that threw fewest incomplete passes, it'd be Lenore's. And he's also good on the ground game. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, obviously
fantastic.
Lenore Sellers is just that guy, but Reno, Ashford, Bevel, if that's how you pronounce his name. I mean, not all of them looked as good as Sellers. I think Sellers is clearly QB1 here. He
Oh yeah,
can
no
kill
question.
you, kill you in the air, and he can kill you on the ground. He's something to actually look for the coming fall. And there may be like other quarterbacks in the SEC that maybe as we like know, like Jalen Milroe, Carson Beck, Jackson Dart, these quarterbacks on other teams. But I think Lenore Sellers is definitely one of the quarterbacks to be looking out for because he can kill you anywhere, and you just got to watch out for that. So we're
Absolutely.
definitely capable of winning games with Norris Hellers.
Absolutely. And, again, you're playing your own self, right? So you're not really going to get a big in depth look at the quarterback until he plays a real game, especially in conference. You're going to find out a lot about Lenore Sellers. But I think he showed South Carolina fans what he was capable of. Obviously, he played in a few games last year. Not much playing time, but what he did show you was pretty promising. Then you could make the argument about competition. But hey, don't take it away from him. The dude, he's a baller. He's a baller. We're gonna see what he can do, but you know, again, the offensive performance, it wasn't anything too flashy, kind of boring in my opinion, but I'm not trying to put
Yeah,
anyone down.
we see
That's
it every
just,
season, every
I mean,
spring game.
yeah,
It
it's a
happens.
spring game, dude. But like, we're gonna find out a lot about this offense in this season. I think there are some things that need to be worked on, but honestly, I think Lenore Sellers, he's gonna be like a freshman, right? Redshirt freshman. So he's gonna have some areas where he's gonna have to improve. But I think Carolina fans are really excited to see what he can do and what he can bring to this USC offense.
Yeah, we've all been really excited to see him, but not just Lenore Sellers, but there was a wide receiver that caught my eye, and I think he was probably the best receiver that we saw on the field, rather than Nick Harbor because he wasn't there. I saw, well, I'm sure we saw Mazio Bennett. He was snagging a lot of balls out in the
Oh
field
yeah,
a lot.
impact
And
player.
yeah, if there's that one player to watch for rather than Nick Harbor as a receiver, it's definitely Mazio Bennett. I don't even care
Mhm.
if I'm pronouncing his name right or wrong, but
I think it's
he just
Mazio, but it
Mazio. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I'll say it's
It
Mazio
doesn't
Bennett.
matter.
I'm not the best at pronouncing names, but I
I'm
think
not
Mazio
either. Don't
Bennett.
worry about it.
Yeah, Mazio Bennett. He he caught my eye. I mean, he was all over the field. He was. I mean, it's just I saw multiple players drop these balls that they could catch, but if there was that one player who was able to catch them, like if there was a player that I'm excited to see in the regular season, it'd be Mazio Bennett and Nick Harbor. I think they'll both do really well this upcoming fall. So those are two that I'd watch for.
Absolutely. And something I really want to mention is the South Carolina defensive front actually looked impressive to me the way they were constantly in that backfield. I mean, it ripped. It ripped through. I mean, Brian Thomas, Goodwine, and Dylan Stewart. I mean, I thought these guys looked pretty impressive. I think the defense, again, we're gonna see in the season how everything looks, but South Carolina's defense could be improved over last year. That's all I'm going to say. I think there's a really good possibility. I mean, I think that defensive front, it looked exciting. In a way, it looked exciting. It was in the backfield. I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mentioned there was something that there's just something up with the defense that looked really good, and yeah, it was definitely the defensive front because they were definitely getting past the O line. I'm not too impressed with the O line's performance, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was
not.
going to mention that next.
Yeah, the O line. Yeah, the O line didn't. It looks a little bit the same, but again, it's a spring game, and we're playing ourselves,
Yeah.
so who knows?
And
So they didn't impress, but they weren't terrible. I think it's just our defensive front is good. Dylan Stewart's also someone to look out for. We have Tonka Hemingway returning, T.J. Sanders. We have all these players, Bam Martin, Scott. We have all these players returning, and that's the reason why our defense can be so good. And this defense can win games for us. If there's games where we are not predicted to win, then I feel like the reason why we'd win these games that we're not supposed to is because of our defense. If our offense can also get going, because I hate to go back to it, but the one game where we should have won was 2021 at South Carolina versus Kentucky. Our defense won us that game, but our offense was terrible. I do not want to see that this season. I hope our defense is just like that, but our offense can actually score touchdowns. That's the
yeah,
one way South Carolina can actually be capable of winning games they shouldn't. Like on the road at Oklahoma, they got at home Ole Miss. They got all these games that they could maybe just maybe do something. And if there's a reason why they can, it's the defense because they caught my eye. And again, it's a spring game, but watch out.
fair enough. Now I will say, of course, and I'm playing devil's advocate. here. But, South Carolina's had offensive line problems for a very long time. And I'm not taking anything away from that defensive front. But it in a way I'm still wait and see about it because the offensive line has just been so terrible. Yeah, it's almost deceptive. I don't know. Again, it's a spring game. I know we're saying that, but there are things you can tell from a spring game. Let's not act like spring games don't matter, folks. I mean, there are things you can learn from it. But I mean, offensively, wasn't the most impressive performance. There are things I liked. Of course, I thought Norris Tellers played pretty well. Mazio Bennett played pretty well. Um, you know, DJ Braswell too. I thought he had a pretty good performance as well. And of course, like I said, the defense. There are things I like from this spring game, but there are things that definitely have to improve before the season starts.
Yeah, it's good to see our backups do well because the top two, Rocket Sanders, Juju McDowell, did not play because they're hurt. But it's always good to see what our depth looks like. And even if we have more injuries, because injuries happen every season, if they're to get hurt, we can always count on DJ Braswell, Oscar Ottaway. He was good too. Um, I mean, injuries definitely are a key factor that could determine our season, which has happened multiple times in the past. And hopefully that's
Oh yeah.
not the case, but just hopefully we can see more from our backups, which is what we did
Yes.
see. So we already saw the spring game. Just
Yeah.
I'm just saying if our players get hurt in the regular season this upcoming fall, then I think we'll probably be fine with our backups. But I don't know who. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's just I'm a Gamecock fan. I've been a Gamecock for years, and I've seen so many seasons where we've had key injured players out for the season, like Debo Samuel in 2017. What could have been like, I don't know, man. He would look so good at the start of 2017, and then the rest of it just could have been better probably. But 2017 was probably the best year under Will Muschamp. But I just hope we get no injuries this season that will like be a key factor to like a losing record or us not making a bowl game. And the O line, I hope we can develop an O line that is capable of protecting our quarterback for once because we have not been able to do that for a while now. And we need to protect Lenore Sellers because I'm a New York Giants fan and they have a terrible O line and they had Daniel Jones get hurt. He hurt his neck because he kept getting sacked over and over again. I'm not saying our O line is going to be that bad. I'm just saying that's what could happen if it gets worse and worse, which is what we've been seeing. So we need to see something even better this season. So you can protect your quarterback and hit receivers like Nick Harbor and Mazio Bennett and all the other receivers that we have.
Absolutely. You always hope for a healthy season, that everything goes well. And thankfully, I think the spring game was pretty healthy for Carolina. I mean, I don't think they came out with any injuries, did they? Did the Gamecocks come out with any
I
injuries?
saw number 58,
Oh,
Marky
58.
Anderson.
That's right. That's right.
Marky Anderson, he was walking off the field in warmups, and it didn't look good because I feel like if you injure yourself in warmups, I mean, they were doing a. I don't think they do contact in warmups, but if you injure yourself in warmups, that is never a good sign because it means it could most likely been a non-contact injury, which means you could be out for long term. But I hope it will not keep him out for the season. I hope not.
Yes. Anyways, Gavin, I appreciate you joining the show per usual, my man. Is there anything you want to say in conclusion before we wrap this up?
Go Gamecocks! It was a fun game to go to. Garnet came out on top. Uh, I mean, you always got to go with Garnet because I don't remember the last time Black won. I mean, I remember it was tight last season, but I can't remember. Yeah, Garnet showed up, Black didn't, but it doesn't matter. You played yourself. It's a spring game. Will not be what we've seen in the fall. Heck, who knows? Maybe we'll even win the national championship.
I love your optimism. But
Hey, it's true. We could. Any team can win the national championship.
I mean, it's the off season. Everyone's going 15-0. So
Hey, but we got to beat the bye week, though. We got to beat the bye week. That's one more thing. We have to beat the bye week. The bye week is undefeated, and no one's ever beat the bye week. But if there's one team that can beat the bye week, it's us. We can do it. I know we can.
oh, Gavin, it's fun as always, my brother.
As fun as always, indeed, man.
All right. Hope you have a good night, and thank you as always.
Thank you.
See y'all later.